out of all reconciliation agreements previously reached within the opposition party. Now, Wike, a key member of the influential G5 group, accused Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde of sabotaging reconciliation effort. He blamed the Oyo State Governor for the problems rocking PDP. In a statement he personally signed, the former Rivers State Governor accused key party leaders, including Enugu State Governor Peter Abba, of betrayal, dishonesty, and serial violations of mutual understandings. He said some resolutions were reached at an expanded meeting held at the Abuja residence of former Senate President Bukola Saraki, where they agreed that Senator Samuel Ayaun remains the National Secretary of the PDP in tandem with the Supreme Court judgment. All legal matters relating to Rivers State must be withdrawn by the National Legal Advisor. The suit on the state of emergency be withdrawn. However, the former Rivers State Governor said those resolutions were violated. The minister pledged to fight on until justice is attained. In the meantime, a lawyer, Festus Uche, says the transfer of all River State emergency rule from Port Harcourt to Abuja is suspicious. Mr. Oguche said this while reacting to the transfer of all the emergency rules from the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt to the Abuja division of the court on the directive of the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court. He questioned the reason for the transfer.
We are not really living in a democratic system where the executive will begin to control the judiciary and think that everything is okay. I would rather say that the action is neither here nor there. The courts in Port Harcourt, being that all the applications should have been consolidated before a particular for hearing, the reason behind transferring the matter to the Federal High Court at Abuja sounds a little suspicious to me.
Mr. Oguche also reacted to reports that the transfer of the suit was a request of the Attorney General of the Federation.
For the court, and you ask yourself if any of the parties that made such application, will the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court have done it the same way that he done it at the instance of the Attorney General of the Federation? I am saying that he cannot act on the directive of the Attorney General of the Federation. The judicial system is independent of the executive system, and so if there's any such request or any directive or command or whatever you call it from the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, it should be communicated to the parties, and the court should hear the parties before it can make such transfer.
He wondered why the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt did not give the matter accelerated hearing due to its sensitive nature.
The fact that our courts have not taken any decision or made any pronouncement on the outright removal of the democratic system in Rivers State, it tells me so much about our judicial system. And these matters have been there for quite some time, and nobody has taken a bite on it except the Gogo case. Coming now at this stage to make such transfer, I understand that the Chief Judge relied on 49 Rule 2 of the Federal High Court.
Coming up next, pirates demand ransom for WAEC candidates abducted in River State. Stay with us.
On behalf of Nigeria, headquartered, we sincerely extend our heartfelt appreciation to Sir Dr. Walter.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Pirates who abducted 13 passengers, including 8 students heading to sit the West African Senior School Certificate Examination in Bile, Degema local government area of River State, have demanded 100 million for their release. An indigent and immediate past president of Bile, Dr. Osaki Miller, confirmed this. The students were among the 13 passengers seized by kidnappers along the Port Harcourt-Bile waterways on May 6th. They were whisked away after the hijacked 2 passenger boats in a daring attack that had devastated the parents of the students. Speaking to newsmen, Miller expressed over the health conditions of the victims and that their families were traumatized. How the family raised security agents to secure of the abductees. He called on the state sole administrator to ensure all the captives are rescued unhurt. In other news, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has released the result of its receipt examination conducted for candidates affected by the technical error during the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. In a statement released on Sunday morning by its public communication advisor, Fabian Benjamin, the board announced the results, saying out of the 336,845 candidates rescheduled for the examination, 21,082 were absent. No explanation was provided for the high number of absentees, but JAMB announced a mop-up exam for candidates who missed the initial TME, including those whose absence had no specified reason. The board in the statement raised concerns about widespread exam malpractice involving candidates, school proprietors, and CBT. It also said 17,025 candidates, representing 0.88% of the total 1.9 million, scored 300 and above in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Away from that, illicit drugs worth over 6.5 billion naira have been intercepted by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) at the Port Harcourt Port Complex, Onne, River State, and the Apapa Seaport, Lagos State. A statement on Sunday by the spokesman of the Anti-Narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, said about 6 million pills of opioids, as well as 332,000 bottles of codeine-based cough syrup with street value put at exactly 6.5 billion naira were seized. Babafemi said the seizures at the Apapa and Onne port followed intelligence and tracking a new trafficking route to ship illicit substances into Nigeria drug cartels. In other news, the Petroleum Product Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petro1, has urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to strictly adhere to the 30-day repair timeline announced for the recently shut down Port Harcourt refinery, raising concerns over the potential impact of delays. Petro1 says the rehabilitation, though necessary, must not exceed the scheduled duration if the nation is to avoid worsening supply disruptions and economic hardship. Petro1 National President Billy Gillis-Harry said while the shutdown for maintenance was expected, the association fears that Nigeria's long-standing infrastructural bottlenecks may derail the process.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
An Israeli strike on a school housing displaced people in Gaza killed at least 20 people and injured dozens. Israel stepped up its military operations in the enclave in early May, saying it is seeking to eliminate Hamas's military and governing capabilities and bring back the remaining hostages who were seized in October 2023. Medics said that dozens of casualties in the strike on the school in the Daraj neighborhood of Gaza City included women and children. There was no immediate comment by the Israeli military, despite mounting international pressure that pushed Israel to lift a blockade on aid supplies in the face of warnings of looming famine. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said last week that Israel would control the whole of Gaza.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The sole administrator says Rivers State will emerge stronger despite its challenges. Serap has sued the CBN over its failure to disclose direct payment to local government areas and Rivers councils. The PDP crisis has worsened as FCT Minister Wike pulls out of reconciliation deal. Pirates are demanding ransom for WAEC candidates abducted in Rivers State. And now on the foreign scene, you heard Israeli strike has killed 20 people in Gaza school housing displaced people. The news is edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. Thanks for listening.